Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady and the principal owner of Everett Tax Solutions, where we help you win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, and when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the small business community. Okay, so one of the things that I've been getting asked a lot is about what to expect in the 2021 filing season when we file for 2020. And that's really led to some frustrated taxpayers asking, well, should I file my taxes even if I can't pay, if I have a tax liability? So the short answer to that is yes. But let's talk about what's really happened in 2020 that has caused so much uncertainty. And believe you me, we get it. Okay. So first of all, one of the things that people don't really remember is that a new W-4 went into effect starting in 2020. Some employers had their current employees fill out a new W-4. And if you started a new job in 2020, you definitely had the new one. But some employers left well enough alone, right? So, we won't really know how well that new W-4 worked until we file, which is why I encourage people to use the irs.gov website, do the W-4, use the W-4 withholding calculator to try to kind of give you an idea of where you are with your withholdings. So the new W-4. Secondly, of course, with COVID, we had a lot of people who lost jobs. We had solopreneurs who lost business. And so there was unemployment, right? But the part that people fail to realize is that unemployment is taxable. So there are a lot of people that did not have taxes withheld from their unemployment. Okay, so we're expecting reduced refunds because people lost their jobs. They also didn't have this tax withheld. So people who might be used to a larger refund might not be getting that this year. Also, with the deferred Social Security tax, there are some people that did not have a choice in the matter. There are some people who have deferred Social Security tax going on right now. Well, that tax has got to be paid by April 30th of 2021. And there are also employers who deferred payroll tax. And there's a whole payback schedule for that. But at the end of the day, company owners and people that are in charge of payroll can be held personally liable for employment tax. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the tax world, and that for me is really brewing into that perfect storm type of thing. Tax payments are normally due on April 15th in a regular year. April 15th, that is the filing deadline, is also the payment deadline. And this is why I encourage people, especially business owners, to file as early as possible so that you know what your tax liability is going to look like and you have a little bit of time to adjust. But still, people are very afraid and they're like, well, if I can't pay the tax and I don't want to file the tax. Well, the myth is that by not filing the tax, that you won't be on the IRS radar. And that's simply not true. You won't hear from them year one. You won't hear from them year two. But year 3 and 4, you'll probably be getting a letter saying, hey, you either need to file your taxes. They'll send you a letter saying, hey, you haven't filed your 2020 taxes and you need to file. You'll get that letter. But if you have documents, whether it's a W-2 or 1099 on file, you can get a bill where they said, hey, these are the documents that we have on file for you. And so here's how much money you owe us. Right? But the problem with that, and it's called an SFR, the substitute for return. The problem with that is that it's normally wrong because they're not taking into any account of your, any tax credits or anything like that. They're like, hey, this is what we have on file for you, and this is what you owe us. Give us our money, please, and thank you. So not filing does not keep you off the IRS radar. If anything, it's going to cause you more problems. So that's what I really want to talk about to help you understand why you really should file even if you can't pay. Okay. So first is the failure to file penalty. The failure to file penalty is 5% per month of the unpaid tax that you owe. This is why you hear me always saying to pay whatever you can on your tax bill, even if you can't pay the whole thing, right? So that's the failure to file penalty. If you don't file by April 15th, or if you file an extension for April 15th, if you don't file by October 15th, you will get the failure to file penalty, okay? And that's based on how much you owe, and that can go up to 25% of the tax that you owe. All right. There's the failure to pay penalty. Now, the failure to pay penalty is cheaper than the failure to file penalty. The failure to file penalty is 10 times more expensive. It's 5%. The failure to pay penalty is 0.5% per month based on what you owe, again, up to 25%. So just imagine you adding 25% to what you already owe, okay? Just think about that. So now if you have both the failure to file penalty and the failure to pay penalty, which is what you would have if you decide to not file your taxes because you can't pay, then you will get charged up to 5% per month, again, up to that 25%. Now, the interest gets added to the amount that you owe. The amount that you owe includes your initial tax liability, your failure to pay penalty, and your failure to file penalty, okay? And then you get interest tacked onto that. So that's interest, and it's accumulating daily. It's compounded every day. So your interest from today is going to get interest tomorrow, and all of that interest is going to get interest the day after. So understand, this is how these tax bills rack up, okay? So you can reduce that right off the bat if you just file your taxes on time. Again, even if you can't pay, you should still file, okay? Because you're going to save yourself a 5% per month penalty, right? You're saving money already just by filing on time. And then what happens? Well, that's when you can consult with a tax professional that specializes in tax resolution, like we do here at Everett Tax Solutions, and help you deal with the IRS, right? Because at the end of the day, the IRS is not trying to put you in jail. And I think that's another one of those things that people are like, oh my gosh, the IRS is going to put me in jail. The IRS is not going to send you to jail for simply not paying your taxes. And let me make sure I say this clearly. If you can't pay your taxes, that's not a reason to go to jail. Now, we're not talking about tax evasion. We're not talking about you're just out here living that life and not paying your tax bill. We're not talking about you underreporting income or doing anything illegal, okay? We're talking about you have a tax bill that now you can't pay. So the IRS is not going to just quickly go and just throw you in jail. There's a whole series and a litany of things that has to happen before the IRS puts you in jail for not paying your taxes. And generally that doesn't happen. There's something criminal involved when you go to jail for something that has to do with taxes, right? It's just not because you owe and can't pay. But that's what, there are tax resolution options for you to help you deal with that. But if you just continually decide to not file your taxes, that becomes willful failure to file. And yeah, you can go to jail for that. Because then again, you're not filing your taxes, you're not paying your taxes, you just out here living, okay, yeah, you can go to jail for that. But if you are following the law, if you're filing on time and you're doing things like adjusting your withholdings and you're trying to pay your estimates and all of those things, whether you get a payment plan with the IRS, as long as you are doing those things, you're not going to jail. Okay, I want to make that clear. It's just when you go and do illegal stuff all willy-nilly. So final note is, even if you can't pay your taxes, you still should file, okay? And then work on a resolution option with the IRS. And listen, and it's not just the IRS, it's the state too. And trust and believe, the state comes at you faster and with sharper teeth than the feds do. Okay, so like if you got to pick one, you definitely want to take care of the state and work something out with the IRS. You don't want to tick off your state when it comes down to your taxes because they have a closer reach to you than the IRS does. I liken the IRS to like Jaws. You know, if I'm dating myself, right? So in the Jaws movie, you heard the music and the sound for about an hour before the shark even showed up, right? Where in the movie Piranha, the piranhas were on you fast and in a hurry. That is the state. The state will come at you fast and in a hurry and with sharper teeth because they want their money now. They will levy your wages faster than the IRS and everything else, okay? That I can tell you for sure. So file your taxes on time. If you have not gone to the IRS withholding calculator, go do it. Get a ballpark of where you are in, for your withholding so you can prepare for those things. And by all means, file your taxes on time. April 15th is the due date. You either file your taxes or request an extension, okay? But you definitely don't want to miss that extension deadline either, okay? So that's it for today's episode of Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, and you can come right here to get your questions answered about your small business taxes. All right, have a great day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.